For the first time in Nintendo Switch history, a EA Sports FC game is finally worth buying on Nintendo Switch 2. Let's get into it. So when I was growing up and the Switch 1 had only just come out, there was lots of talk about the FIFA games on the Nintendo Switch, and there was lots of criticism about the FIFA games on the Switch. I remember people constantly comparing the Switch 1 version to the PS4 or Xbox One version of FIFA, and it was missing features. It was missing things like the career mode, it was missing things like extra modes, different game engines wasn't even running. I remember the Frostbite engine wasn't even on the Switch 1. Basically, the Switch 1 version was completely different to the regular version, and lots of things were missing. I believe EA was just like using the same game each year, just changing the title and like the main cover art of the game. All the Switch 1 versions of FIFA, or FC25 as it got called in the end, they were exactly the same. FIFA 17 was pretty much the same as FIFA 18, and FIFA 18 was pretty much the same as 19. Unlike the mainline versions on the Xbox and PlayStation, FIFA was just not worth buying on Nintendo Switch 1. Well, I'm proud to report that FIFA, or FC26 as it's now called, is the full version on Nintendo Switch 2. It's taken them almost 10 years to get this right, and of course the Switch 2 is a lot more powerful, so it can run a proper FIFA game. But yes, the full version of FIFA, the full version of FC26, is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and there's been a beta and people have started to play it. Coming from the r/FIFA Switch subreddit, there was a post on there by Individual Breath 172, and they said in their post, "Nintendo Switch 2 beta players, what's the verdict so far?" He then said, "I didn't get a code and I'm itching, just want to know how it plays and the graphics. How is it compared to console?" So another Reddit user who has presumably played the demo or the beta was actually able to give their take on what they played, and they said it's way better than the Switch 1 version. I've got the beta on PS5 and Switch 2, and the differences are very slight. Graphically, it's better on the PS5, but the gameplay itself is the same. And it's worlds away from the graphics on Switch 1. Same player models, same animations, it looks like I'm playing FIFA on my Series S. Menus feel way faster, still a little bit laggy, but it's the same on PS5 with it being the beta, so pack-pull animations are way better, career mode is a million times better, actual cutscenes instead of slideshows that were used to be there on Switch 1, and again, the game looks and feels fantastic in my opinion anyway. Can't really tell what the frame rate is, I've not jumped from PS5 to Switch and felt any different, but I've had no dips or anything. So there is a little bit of news about the frame rate. Frame rate is 30, so it won't run at a full 60 frames a second. There was here, somebody posted on the r/FIFA subreddit with an interview, I believe, with some developers about the game, and they said, yeah, it does run at 30 instead of 60. So the only major cutback is there's a slight cutback in graphics. Of course, it's not as powerful as a PS5, and the frame rate is 30 instead of 60, but overall, you're getting the same experience with FC26. Before, it was like completely different. It was like playing a last-gen version of FC, or at the time FIFA, and this is absolutely amazing for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's amazing to say that the Switch version of this is going to be completely the same as the other consoles. This is something that the Switch 1 really missed. We didn't really have amazing third-party support, and that was because obviously of the power of the Switch 1. The Switch 1 was very outdated and wasn't that powerful only a few years after launch. Now obviously with the Switch 2 it's not as powerful as a PS5, but it's the full version of FC26. All of the career modes and cutscenes are all there. It's the full game. You're not getting half a game. You're not getting those legacy editions that EA used to do every single year for the Switch. And this could definitely benefit the Switch 2 as a whole. What you have to understand is the FC series or the FIFA series is absolutely huge with more casual people. Some people only buy consoles for sports games. They only buy them for FIFA or FC. They only buy it for the Madden. Yeah, they only buy it for those EA sports games, and that's completely fine. But the Switch 1 didn't appeal to them because they didn't have proper versions of these games. Now, I believe Madden has come out for the Switch 2, and that was a decent port. It was exactly the same version as the PlayStation and Xbox versions, So yeah, this suddenly makes the Switch 2 a really great handheld, because I believe it's the only official way to play these EA Sports games portably. I mean, I don't believe the Steam Deck supports these games, so yeah, having a Switch 2 suddenly appeals to this whole new audience that only play sports games. Now, all of this sounds great so far, but the only thing really missing from this port is crossplay. The regular versions of FC26 does support crossplay within different consoles, so if you're playing within the same generation, if you're playing on a Series X or a PS5, you can do crossplay. If you're playing on a Switch 2, I don't know why you can't do crossplay. Maybe this will come in a future update, I hope it does, because then everyone can play this game together. Unfortunately, it doesn't support it, at least at launch. We don't know if there's any plans to add this in the future, and it really is a shame that crossplay isn't enabled or isn't supported for FC26 on Switch 2, because apart from that, the game does seem to be a really good port. If you want to go and check out some footage of this, please go and do so. There's multiple different videos online of this game running. I'll have some links down below in the description. Go and check it out, go and support some other channels. But yeah, I just think this is a great port. Obviously it's not perfect, the frame rate isn't perfect, it's halved. It could do with being 60, so it's fair for every console. I understand that. And crossplay could also be enabled. But for the most part, the fact that this game is the same game as the PS5 and Xbox Series versions is a huge step forward for the Nintendo Switch 2. And it might actually convince some sports fans to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know, I feel like this is going to be a really good thing for the Switch 2, and it's really going to help Nintendo going forward. So with all that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, everyone. What do you think to FC26 on the Nintendo Switch 2? Are you going to be picking this game up? I might buy it just to support EA. I've really wanted EA to do a full version of FIFA, and they're finally doing it, and because I want to support that, I might actually buy this game. It's not a series I really enjoy, it's not a series I like, it's not my kind of game, but the fact that EA have put the effort in to make a full Switch 2 version kind of makes me want to get it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, everyone. Did you play FIFA on the Switch 1? Did you buy it each year? Was you disappointed with it? Did you enjoy it still? Let me know your thoughts on the FIFA series on Switch 1, and let me know your thoughts on FC26 for the Switch 2. Are you glad it's finally the full version? Are you going to be picking it up? Does the frame rate matter to you? And does crossplay matter to you? Let me know all of your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you are doing so, because it does really help out the channel. And with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.